procedure here, our routine. Got to make sure we share this on all the other different platforms. Let's see here. So for those of you that have been following along on Facebook, on Instagram, today we are going to be joined by Jen Duranczyk. She told me that's how you say her last name. So if you caught it on NBC DFW Channel 5, they're mispronouncing it. Owner of Fusion Whole Body Recovery. She's going to be telling us basically, how to take care of ourselves at home, how to take care of ourselves during this quarantine here. This actually might be kind of counterintuitive. How to not need somebody like a chiropractor. Or, in all reality, how to not need somebody like a massage therapist. What better person to tell us that than the massage therapist? So, without further ado, let's bring her in here. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you, owner of Fusion Whole Body, Jen Duranczyk. Am I still getting that right?
Yeah, you're still getting it right.
Perfect. Take that, NBC DFW.
Yeah, right.
So,
right.
So actually, tell us about that. What were you on NBC DFW for here recently?
Okay, so Colleyville has been a big bit of controversy because our mayor decided to go ahead and buck against what the governor was saying as far as regulations and reopen Colleyville a little bit quicker than what the governor had said in his proclamation. So basically, which I'm all for us reopening, but unfortunately the way that the mayor did it was in a very confusing way that he didn't look at businesses on an independent basis. He kind of just bunched us all together. And was miscommunication because unfortunately the governor supersedes over the mayor. So the mayor was actually attempting to do less than what the governor was saying. So then our licensing department, that was where the problem came. The licensing department was saying, no, you can't perform massage because that is not approved by the governor, so you'll lose your license. So that's kind of why I was on there, there was a lot of confusion.
Trying to basically figure out what everyone else is trying to do too.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, even our elected officials, if you will. For those of you who are not in business by yourself, they're really just making this up as they go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we're all trying to figure out what the hell they mean as we're going along here. Mm-hmm. So, but like I was saying, one of the reasons that I wanted to bring Jen on here is to really, she does a special form of marketing. Like I said, that basically she tries to teach her clients how to not need her. It's a lot in the same kind of sense, we do here. Like, if I give somebody, a home exercise routine or something, hey, if you listen to me, you don't need to come in here as much. Now, one of the really cool things that I wanted Jen to talk about is she does these somatic workshops. And actually, I'm not even going to try and explain it. I'll let her do it. Jen, what's a somatic workshop? Why do we need to do it? And what can we take away from it?
So a somatic workshop is based on the somatic theory. It is movements designed by Thomas Hanna as well as some other somatic educators. And what they are is a highly effective form of neuromuscular movement retraining.
No, I'm sorry, not to interrupt you for a second. We're getting a little. Facebook is playing games with us here.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
So
sorry about that. Movements. No, that's fine. These movements are made to retrain our brain. So what happens whenever we do things chronically, like sit at computers, or I'll even tell clients like athletes when they're doing the same movement over and over, our brain is actually learning a certain pattern of movement. And then our brains are really smart and our bodies are really smart. So our body and our brain start to say, okay, you do this a lot. That means that this is a trained pattern and I want to be efficient, because we like to be efficient, our brain and our body. So unfortunately, that is not always good, sitting at computers or having a bad habit of sitting on one cheek more than the other, sleeping in certain patterns. We taught ourselves these habitual patterns.
Your face anyway, right? I said you shouldn't be touching your face anyway, right?
What did you say?
So you shouldn't be touching your face anyway with Corona and stuff anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Stay away. Stay away
I'm sorry. It looks like we're
ourselves these bad
we're
habits.
gonna pick up here again.
That
There we go.
I teach my clients how, where you.
Oh, did we lose you?
Are we breaking up? No, I
I
can hear
hope
you,
not.
but
It's
quite
not me.
slow.
There we
Is
go.
that better?
Okay, I think I might have had too much stuff going on. I closed out a couple of windows. We're good to go.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so I run through these movements during workshops that, and the great thing about it, usually the workshop have some kind of goal, like, okay, we're going to release the hips or back. It's not like taking a class or anything like that. Learning home. I'm reaching.
Jen, it looks like we're breaking up here again. Here, let me do. It's coming back and forth here. I'm trying to close out as much stuff on my end here as I can. Oh, you got anything? You got anything excessive open on your screen over there?
Yeah, let me see. Huh. I closed all my windows.
Okay. Well, you're coming in clearer again.
I closed all my windows.
I say you're coming in clearer again. So let's see.
Kind of breaking up a little bit.
All right, let's try this a little bit more. If this doesn't pick up, we'll close this down and we'll open it back up and see if we can't start from scratch.
Can you hear me?
So I can hear you good now. So again, let's give us an overview of what the schematics are.
Yeah, you're still breaking up real bad to me. Hold on. Let me see if I can move. Okay, is this any better? Is this any?
No, you're basically frozen now.
Any better?
No, not really. Here, what we'll do, I'm going to close this whole thing down. I apologize, everybody. We're going to close this whole thing down, and we'll come back live here in just a hot second, okay? Stay tuned. Welcome back. Studio audience, you just witnessed our first commercial break. So,
Yes.
now that we got all figured out, Jen's in the right spot, I'm in the right spot. So we're just going to pick up right where you left off. Jen, somatics. What are they?
Okay.
Who needs them? Why?
Okay. So let's start over. Let's talk about what somatics is, because nobody knows what it is. It's a highly effective form of neuromuscular retraining that you can do yourself. So what I do is I walk you through movements that retrain your brain how to talk to your body and regain movement where it's lost it through habitual range of motion or functional movement. So I always tell my clients our bodies learn habitual patterns to be more efficient to what we do on a daily basis, like sitting at computers or laying in a certain way or position, or even playing a sport. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, what that causes is muscle tension and muscle patterns that then become our enemy by causing tension and joint problems and things like that. So I teach you how to talk to your brain and retrain your brain to let go of those habits through movement. So everybody needs it, basically.
It's interesting the different ways to look at it, because you're talking. I remember for those of you who didn't catch it before, she talked about how our brains learn things and they do it to be smart and to be efficient. I'm not gonna lie. I would say a dozen times a day, I remind people about how dumb their body is. But it's the same thing, just coming at it from a different perspective. Because the body is stubborn. I tell people all the time, you get used to whatever you do most often. Mm-hmm. Literally what you were just saying, but I'm not going to lie. You gave me a bit of a paradigm shift. I think it would be better for myself and for my patients if we talk about the body being efficient and trying to make things easier for us, as opposed to talking about the body being dumb and stubborn. So
yeah, right.
if nobody else gets anything from this, I think I just got that.
Yeah, so it's both, we're saying the same thing, but
It's just you're saying it in a positive way, and I'm saying it in a negative way. So
right.
it's
Empower your people.
exactly right. Go body. I'm sorry, body. I love you. So these classes that you put on, like I know for those of you who don't know, she does a lot of work with Dr. Taylor's gym, DT School of Fitness, Casey and Kadima. I know you put on classes there. Doing a little Facebook creeping, a little Facebook side, stuff at local businesses too. Because that was another thing. It was really cool, just the amount of community outreach that you do, and I think it just works really well in the whole thing of, hey, if I show people how not to need me, then they won't need me. But at the same time, then it makes them want you more. The same stuff. Like I don't know if I know anybody who does the kind of community outreach that you do on any level for that, really.
Yeah, it's something I really enjoy. And I tell my clients, like, there's a reason why I own the business here. It's because I was a therapist for, at that time, like 9 years, and I loved what I did for a living. But more than what I do for a living as far as massage, really my passion is educating people on their own power and their own ability to change their bodies, and knowing that we shouldn't be we need to be self-sufficient. So I think reaching out to the community and creating Colleyville, Bedford, Hearst, Grapevine, Southlake, creating a pillar of like, hey, there's a better answer than medications and surgeries, is like, no matter, even if it's becoming this huge bubble, I want people to know that there is other answers out there. So I enjoy that almost more than even the hands-on body work. I love educating my clients on the power of their own self-being,
Okay, so with that, there comes a thing that you and I on a daily basis have to confront with our patients and our clients. You said it perfectly. There is so much more out there than, for all intents and purposes, drugs and surgery. But from a holistic standpoint, whether it be massage, chiropractic, home health, just self-sufficiency, like you were saying, we're fighting an uphill battle because people are looking for a quick fix, right? They're looking for a simple solution to an impressively complex issue. And that's if we're just talking about, not to dumb it down, a basic biomechanical dysfunction. So one thing I think that you'd be the perfect person to help educate people with is, Dr. Taylor, do you recommend massage? Absolutely. Okay, cool. So should I just go get a deep tissue massage? Probably not. Right? Right off the bat, you don't want just knees and elbows. So why don't you do me a favor, do everybody watching a favor. What are some of the different types of massage services, one, that you offer, and two, just some other services that people can get at Fusion Whole Body Recovery, just to help, like I said, solve all these different problems from the different angles.
Okay, so what I like to tell people is that we're facilitators. So whenever you come in here, you have an issue, and we're basically facilitating you, or giving your body and your brain some kind of starting point to begin to learn self-discovery and to allow yourself to get out of pain enough to really be in tune with that again. So to start with the other services first, we do far infrared therapy with our sauna, and then we do cryotherapy. And fingers crossed, the next couple months we'll be adding salt therapy as well. But those therapies, what I like to call those, are like all natural steroid shots or anti-inflammatories. Because a lot of times clients will come in and they'll go, I'm in so much pain. I have so much acute pain. I can't even think about starting to use my brain or making a change or doing self-care or anything. So those are like, I tell people that's like the ibuprofen. Let's not just pump a bunch of medicine into your liver, kidneys, stomach. Let's switch that up, even if it's slowly, and move into more holistic ways of doing that. And then now let's get down to the nitty gritty, which is going to be the orthopedic body work, and then the cupping, the structural integration work. So then once your pain level is under a more manageable state, if you came in really acute. A lot of our clients can start off with body work right off the bat because it tends to be more dull and lost range of motion type issues. But then that's when it's like our hands are facilitators, where we're going to use our brains and the amount of education that it's taken to get these certifications to then use our hands to, I say, open windows. Like, okay, you've got some range of motion in there. I can use my hands to, in the modalities that I use, to increase that range of motion, to decrease your pain more. And then I go, look, we've got more range of motion. Now let's start diving into the somatic type education, where we can now utilize that new space that isn't permanent because I've not changed your brain waves, or I've not changed the neuromuscular talk between the muscle and the brain. Now let's start diving into movements using me again as feedback, but then also at home. So it's all kind of like this fluidity of treatments here that we can basically take a person with their individual needs and develop a plan using the things that we have. But then the thing is that chiropractic is also needed as well, because a lot of these areas, what we found for sure is like, I need people like you, because I'll get to an area and I'm like, there's no way I can access this. There's no way they can access this. So the joint, the building, the relationship between my business and you is great, because then you can do things that I can't do, that I feel 100% comfortable giving my clients to help aid them in that journey as well. Because I always tell people, my brain can only do so many things, you know. So yeah, that's kind of what we do here.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, just watching on Facebook, you have a chiropractor that works with you now, right? Now I know this all happened right before the whole Corona thing. So like you've got like in-house chiropractic now too, correct? Or
yes.
You will.
Yeah. So yeah, she kind of like started right at I think within her first week was the week that we shut down.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's pretty terrible. So I love her. I'm really hoping she's going to be able to stay with us for not only the type of work that she does, helping the group of people here that I believe will match really well with her. I'm hoping, but that's kind of up in the air, unfortunately, with this whole thing, if that will be able to continue. But I always tell my clients again, and everyone that I work with, everyone has certain needs and no one is perfect for everyone. So it's, again, that community thing, I think it's really important,
Well, I mean, heck, I've fired a patient before. I'm sure you've fired a client or two in your day. Sometimes people just don't match.
No, they don't. I mean, and there's been times that that's why I have such great friends in the massage industry still. I mean, I have like 5 in Grapevine. I have like 3 out here. And I even have an in-house therapist that works for me. And I will still call those other therapists and refer people, because I'm just like, your personality, your type of work that you want done doesn't match with me here. But I have some great people that do match with you. And every single time they're like, thank you for telling me this. Thank you. And then it comes back around and I get Joe Schmo come in and go, Sally Mae referred me because she told me that you cared more about her health than whether or not you'd be making a penny. And I'm like,
It's weird. When you help people, good things happen.
Right. Exactly. Imagine that.
What are the odds? I mean, some of this is kind of, comical and kind of tongue in cheek, but at the same time, like, it's absolutely true. Like, I might make a joke where, I had to fire a patient because we weren't getting along. Yeah. I mean, if my job, your job, any healthcare practitioner's job is to help people and to help them become the best version of themselves. But there's a certain dichotomy that's got to go along with that, where if just on a personality, just on a person-to-person, human-to-human basis, if we don't see eye to eye, there's no way I'm going to be able to get you as good as you could possibly be. There's no way Jen's going to be able to do it. I mean, I've said it a couple times. If anyone follows on Facebook and Instagram, he heals most in whom most have faith. If you don't have faith in me, if you don't have trust in me, if you don't really like me, I'm not going to be able to get you as good as you want to be.
Yeah.
And
it's the same with somatics. I tell my clients, I'm like, if you're going to go and try and do my practice and you're just like, this isn't working, this is crap, I don't know, it's not going to work for you because you're not even attempting to use your brain or allow the work to do it or to work for you. So, I mean, it's just with everything that some things, and sometimes it's just finding the right person to communicate the right way to trigger in their brain. Okay, they said the right words that are going to help me get better, and so.
I mean, there is that too. I mean, there is a lot that absolutely does fall on us in being able to properly communicate what we want to be done, what our overall goals are. Because I mean, if we're not communicating that properly to a client or to a patient, well, then that could also create a bit of a disconnect too. Actually, oddly enough, I think this kind of brings us a little bit full circle in, hey, Dr. Taylor, I went to go get a massage. I got a deep tissue massage, and I am in pain. Well, yeah, because you didn't necessarily need the deep tissue massage. You got that because you've heard those words before, and you thought that's what you kind of needed. So let's follow this avenue a little bit. Do me a favor. Tell me about, you do a lot of work with brain and mindset. How do you get people onto the right track? How do you communicate to a patient or a client what it is that we need to do and where you plan on taking them? Because I mean, in your line of work, you have to have a plan for your clients.
Yeah. So really, I'm blunt. I'm a blunt person. So
that's why we love you.
Yeah. A lot of times the way that I talk to people is just straightforward. I will have someone come in and I will tell them, if you're not willing to do the work necessary, I'm not the person to work with. That's the first thing. And then also communicating to them that, in order to see long-term results, they have to use their brain more and work with me. So I'm a big science nerd. I always say I'm a scientific hippie. So I throw a lot of science down on them.
I would buy that 100%.
Yeah. And so what I do is I educate them a lot. So typically during the first session, it's a lot of postural assessment, and it's a lot of history I take. So then that shows people I am paying attention to what's wrong with you. I'm touching you. I'm of course asking permission, during all this. But and then when I'm on the table and I'm working with them and I'm doing somatics on them, because there's on-table somatics and then there's the workshops and the movement, I make a point to point out to all my clients the difference, the before and after. See where you are now? Isn't that painful? Let's do somatics. Let's see a difference. Once you start to do that with them, then they start to see the change. Then you can lay down some science. Then it's like a process, So that's.
It sounds like it's an active process, though. It's not a passive process.
Yes, it's an active type of therapy. So it's not a relaxing massage. And that was when I started to transfer from body work to somatics. I mean, I had a lot of client pushback because they were like, what, I have to do something? And I'm like, so, but that's the ones that so I weeded out or fired a lot of people because I was like, if that's what you want, then I can't do that for you. So anyways, but yeah, it's a lot of education with them and laying down the facts and showing them the changes and then following up to show them, oh, wow, this is something I can actually do myself. Right. And continuously saying, I'm just a facilitator. I'm just feedback. You can do this at home using your leg as a weight or a kettlebell or a TheraBand. I'm just a thing standing here,
I am but a vessel.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. So obviously we touched on it at the very beginning of the first program, if you will, prior to our impromptu commercial break. So obviously you are not up and running currently because everyone is trying to figure out how to open this place back up. But again, just, if anyone hasn't been following you on Facebook or on Instagram, you're still, I don't want to say doing business, but you're doing business. You're helping people, you're giving them tips and tricks and pointers. So for those people who haven't been lucky enough to be following you, like, I guess, what are some main things people can be doing now? Because, man, from a chiropractic standpoint, like I've still been open this whole time. I'm getting my regular clients coming in more jacked up than ever because they're having to work from home.
Yeah.
Like working from home is messing people up something fierce.
Yeah. I mean, I applaud the people that are sitting and working on computers daily, and not just that, the ones that have kids at home. Yeah, I can't imagine working with like kids all over the place. But so definitely follow on YouTube and on Facebook, and sign up for our email list. You can do that on the website, because I am doing those free classes at least every Wednesday, whether it's over something similar to what we're doing here or it's a somatics class. Like this past Wednesday, I did a nighttime movement class that melded a little bit of like relaxing, meditative type stuff with somatics. So definitely do that. And then because really, if you want to see what somatics is, just look up somatics.org. You'll start to educate yourself on the premise of it. And then when you watch my videos, you can really start to do the self-care at home, because going through each of it and giving people a little bit of taste of it is hard to do when you can just watch the videos. But yeah, we do plan on being back in business soon. I really want to keep a high standard in our industry. Massage therapy is always constantly trying to fight a negative image. And I talked to some leaders in my field yesterday, and this is the time that we shine. So I don't want to open up too quickly. I don't want to open up unless our PPE is intact. I don't want to open up when our licenses are under question. So I do want to let people know that we will be opening up as soon as we can, and as safely and as right as we can. And again, I'm on your side, but the government tells us to do things, and it's unfortunate. So I just have to do everything the right way. But we will be open soon. But I've got tons of content every day on Facebook. I'm putting up content.
Well, I mean, Jen, there's a reason I asked you to come on here today, and it's not because you do things half-assed. No. Until the point happens where people can actually walk through your front door, how do people find you?
Okay. You can go to Fusion Whole Body Recovery, just YouTube that on Facebook. And then you'll see, it'll pop up right at the top. So YouTube, Fusion Whole Body Recovery. It'll show like 38 videos that I've done. They're all labeled. Yeah. You go through and it'll say neck and shoulder pain, hip and back pain. So you can do the movements. On Facebook, same thing, Fusion Whole Body Recovery. On Instagram, same thing, Fusion Whole Body Recovery. And then if you check our website too, www.fusionwbrecovery.com, we'll have information there up all the time. Also, I'm doing classes right now I did one yesterday, I'm doing one on Thursday, and then I'm doing every other week for the Grapevine Rec through Zoom. So you'll see me doing classes. Yeah, at 2 p.m. every Thursday. Well, this past Thursday, this next Thursday, and then every other Thursday, I'll be teaching somatics.
Cool.
Via Zoom. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, again, Jen, I really appreciate you taking the time today. I was completely sincere when I said it. We didn't have you on because you do things half-assed.
Thank you.
Again, that are just tuning in. We don't have massage therapy here in my office. We refer everybody to Jen and her place. And there's a reason for it, because of the fantastic work they do. Hell, I'm a client of hers. My wife is a client of hers. I don't know if it caught it when I said it earlier. My trainers are clients of hers. So,
I love all my people.
Right? So if that isn't testimony enough, I mean, I don't know what is. Again, Jen, really appreciate you taking the time. Really appreciate the work that you do and the time and effort that you put into it. And again, like I said, the main reason I had you on here was because of the work you do in the community. You teach people how to not need you, and that's a really cool thing.
Thank you so much, and I've really enjoyed it, and I hope that we can all just like get together sometime soon and make some really badass event or something.
Yeah, right. It'll happen. Again, like you said, whenever the government says it's okay for us to talk to people face to face again.
Yes, right.
Again, you guys, look her up, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Fusion Whole Body Recovery. Jen, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. You too. See you later.
You have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Bye.